Good morning, Bhargav and Uday. Today is Monday, November 27th, and here's the heads up brief for today. Today's production to our clients consisted of a total of 82 issues. We covered 43 issues in East Asia Pacific, 24 issues in South Asia, and 15 issues in the EMEA region. I'll be briefing you on the major issues of today's production.
Hey, Bassel, thank you. Let's move on to the major issues, please.
In East Asia Pacific, I'll be covering the top 2 of the 43 issues. In Indonesia, at least 3 soldiers were killed and 2 others were injured during a shootout in Paro District, Nduga Regency in Highland, Papua on November 25th. The shooting was between security personnel and the West Papua National Liberation Army. The clash occurred during a cleaning and infiltration operation by members of the National Armed Forces. The latest attack follows a TP and PB attack on a health center construction project in the Regency in Central Papua on November 24th. We covered this as the major development in South Asia roundup today.
Thanks, Bassel. Nduga Regency is a hotspot for the West Papua National Liberation Army. So we can see more clashes. We can expect more clashes in the coming weeks. And it's also the place where the New Zealand pilot was kidnapped and believed to be still held. So Indonesian forces will continue to mount operations. How successful they will be, it remains to be seen, considering the pilot has been kidnapped since February. Thanks.
Sure, Uday. Also in Indonesia, the Free Papua movement will commemorate the Papuan Independence Day on December the 1st. The day marks the 62nd anniversary of the first raising of West Papua's Morning Star flag. Meanwhile, OPM Chairman Jeffrey Bomanak urged the Papuan people and members of the international community to observe and celebrate Papuan Independence Day on December 1st. Several student groups have called for demonstrations on the same date to celebrate the anniversary. We released an APAC advisory on this today.
Yeah, so this anniversary happens every year, and it's quite a controversial one, as Indonesia does not allow any expressions of Papuan freedom. The Morning Star flag is banned in Papua. So there will likely be protests and gatherings in commemoration of the anniversary, and there is also the likelihood of the West Papua National Liberation Army attacks on the day. So let's keep a close eye out on this. Thanks.
Very well noted today. In South Asia, covering the top issue of the 24 issues in Pakistan, a report was released by the Home and Tribal Affairs Department last week, showcasing the vulnerabilities of political parties and leaders in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province. The report identified Jamaat Islam Fazl as the most vulnerable among mainstream political parties to militant attacks in the province. The report also highlighted the vulnerability of the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz and Awami National Party to such attacks. Additionally, political leaders who own businesses in the province were exposed to threats by militant groups to pay extortion. We covered this as the major development in the South Asia roundup today.
Yes, that is interesting, especially when you see that Jamaat-e-Ulema Fazlur Rahman's group or party is the most vulnerable. They project themselves as a pro-Islamist party as opposed to others who are on either sides of the political spectrum. And it doesn't really come as a surprise that the militant group would actually focus on businesses in the province to gain more traction in terms of the finances as well as the support. So let's focus on the security environment across the province as well as other provinces in Pakistan, and to keep our clients updated. Thank you.
Sure, Bhargav, that's very well noted. In EMEA, I'll be covering the top 3 of the 15 issues. In Germany, authorities will scrap price caps on gas and electricity by the end of the year. The announcement was made by the country's finance minister. This means that consumers will see their energy bills go up in price from the current $0.44 per kilowatt hour for electricity and $0.13 per kilowatt hour for gas. The price freeze was introduced last year and was financed through the $218 billion Economic Stabilization Fund. We conveyed this to our clients via an advisory message today.
All right, thank you.
In the United Kingdom, at least 50,000 people participated in a march against anti-Semitism in London yesterday. The rally was organized by the Campaign Against Anti-Semitism group. The march began at 1:30 p.m. local time from the Royal Courts of Justice. Former British Prime Minister Boris Johnson attended the march. We conveyed this to our clients via an advisory message today as well.
All right, thank you.
Concerning the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, approximately 14,854 Palestinians and 1,200 Israelis have died. More than 30,000 Palestinians and 3,500 Israelis have been injured. At least 41 Hamas-held captives and 78 Palestinians jailed by Israel have so far been released. Yesterday, Hamas said it intends to extend the 4-day humanitarian pause, which elapses today on condition that Israel frees more Palestinian detainees. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said Israel would extend the humanitarian pause by 1 day for each additional 10 captives released by Hamas. We covered this as a major development in the EMEA roundup today.
Although the ceasefire and the release of prisoners and hostages seem like a respite for the overall scenario, we should not lose sight of the impending continuation of fighting between Hamas and Israeli forces. So let's keep track of the major stance taken by the politicians on either side of the conflict and keep our clients updated, please. Thank you.
Sure, Bhargav. That's the heads up brief for today.
Nothing further from my end. Thank you, Bassel.
Thanks, Bassel.